Right now, as you're watching this, something is crawling on your skin. Not one thing, not 10, millions. And no, you can't feel them. You've never felt them. But they've always been there, living, breathing, multiplying. Welcome to your skin. You probably think of your skin as armor, a barrier, something that protects you from the outside world. But what if I told you it's not a wall, it's a city, a massive, living, breathing city with trillions of microscopic residents, bacteria, fungi, viruses, an entire ecosystem that calls you home. And here's the part that should make you pause. You're not the owner, you're the environment. Imagine your body, not as you, but as land, warm, moist, nutrient-rich, perfect conditions. To them, you're not a person, you're real estate. Your forehead, high-density housing. Your armpits, a humid jungle. Your hands, a busy transportation hub, constantly exchanging passengers. Every time you touch a doorknob, shake a hand, check your phone. You're not just moving through the world, you're trading life forms. You think you're just scrolling, but your thumb is participating in a microbial migration event. And the craziest part? This has been happening your entire life. Before you had a name, before your first memory, the moment you were born, you were colonized. Not attacked, colonized. Your first breath wasn't just oxygen, it was an invasion. Your mother's skin, the air, the world, all of it rushed in. And from that moment on, you were never alone again. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most people hear this and think, that's disgusting. Bacteria? On me? I need to wash that off. And that instinct feels right, because somewhere deep inside you, microbes equals danger, disease, infection, dirt. But that's only half the story, because what you're imagining is a battlefield, but what's actually happening is a balance. Your skin isn't under attack, it's under negotiation. At every second, countless microscopic organisms are competing for space, for resources, for survival. Some want to grow, some want to dominate. Some would actually harm you if given the chance, but they don't. And the reason they don't is because of the others. Your skin is not peaceful, it's regulated chaos, a crowded city where no single group can take over, because the others won't allow it. Good bacteria block bad bacteria. They consume the same resources, they occupy the same territory, they form a living shield, not against the outside world, but against each other. And you're just the ground they stand on. Think about that. The thing you call your body is actually a controlled war zone, where the outcome determines whether you stay healthy or get sick. And here's where it gets even stranger. Your immune system is not just fighting enemies, it's managing citizens. It doesn't just destroy, it decides who stays, who grows, who gets eliminated, like a government maintaining order in a city that never sleeps. It happens when you interfere, when you decide to clean everything, to sterilize, to wipe, to destroy every microbe you can. At first, it feels like control, like safety, like you're winning the war. But in reality, you might be doing something far more dangerous. You might be clearing the city. And when a city becomes empty, something always moves in. Something faster, more aggressive, less balanced. And this is where everything you thought you knew starts to flip. Because the truth is, the most dangerous skin is not the dirtiest one. It's the one with nothing living on it. And right here is where the real question begins. If these invisible organisms are everywhere, if they've been with you your entire life, if they're constantly fighting, balancing, protecting, then what exactly is their role in you? Are they just passengers? Or are they part of what makes you, you? And the answer to that question changes everything. What if I told you these things on your skin are not just protecting you from the outside, they are controlling what gets inside? Every pore, every tiny opening on your skin is like a border crossing. And those microbes, they're not random. They're stationed, placed, strategically, like guards, but not loyal to you, loyal to balance. They don't protect you because they care. They protect you because your survival keeps the system stable. Because if you collapse, their world collapses with you. So they fight, not for you, but with you, and sometimes against you. Because here's the part no one tells you. Some of the bacteria on your skin can turn on you, not out of malice, but opportunity. In normal conditions, they behave, they coexist, they follow the rules of the city. But the moment something changes, stress, hormones, damage, imbalance, the rules break. The quiet citizens become opportunists. The harmless becomes harmful. The same bacteria that once protected you can trigger inflammation, infection, disease. Not because they changed, but because the system did. Your body is not a fixed identity. It's a constantly shifting negotiation, and your skin is the front line. Now imagine this. You wake up one morning and decide to eliminate everything. Antibacterial soap, alcohol wipes, aggressive skincare, total sterilization. You strip your skin down to zero. No bacteria, no fungi, no balance. For a moment, you feel clean, pure, untouched. But what you've actually created is an empty ecosystem, a vacuum. And in nature, a vacuum is never empty for long, because the first organisms to return are not the peaceful ones. They're the fastest, the most aggressive, the least controlled. You didn't remove danger, you removed resistance. You didn't win the war, you deleted the defense system. And suddenly, your skin becomes vulnerable in a way it never was before. This is why sometimes, the more you try to fix your skin, the worse it gets. Acne that won't go away, irritation that keeps returning, activity that builds over time. It's not random, it's ecological collapse. You didn't treat a symptom, you disrupted a system. Think about that. Your skin problems might not be caused by what's there, but by what's missing. And this is where the perspective flips completely. Because now, the question is no longer, how do I remove bacteria? It becomes, how do I manage an ecosystem I can't even see? And that's terrifying, because you can't control it directly. You can't micromanage trillions of organisms. You can't negotiate with them. You can't even detect most of them. All you can do is influence the environment. Temperature, moisture, chemicals, habits. You're not the ruler of this system. You're the climate. And climate doesn't command. It shapes. Slowly, subtly, relentlessly. And here's where it goes even deeper. Because these microbes don't just live on you. They communicate through chemicals, through signals, through invisible interactions that your brain doesn't even register. They influence inflammation, healing speed, sensitivity, even how your skin reacts to stress. Yes, stress. Because when your brain is under pressure, your skin changes. Oil production shifts, barrier function weakens, immune responses alter, and the microbes respond instantly, like a city reacting to a crisis. And suddenly, your mental state is affecting an ecosystem that's affecting your physical body, which feeds back into how you feel. It's a loop, a system, a feedback cycle, and you're in the middle of it, thinking you're in control. But here comes the real twist, the one that changes everything. Because up until now, you've been thinking, these microbes live on me. But what if that's backwards? What if you were just the host for something much bigger? What if your identity, your health, your reactions are partially shaped by organisms that are not you? Because scientifically, you are outnumbered by a lot. For every human cell in your body, there are roughly as many non-human cells living with you, on you, inside you. You are not a single organism. You are a consortium, a collaboration, a walking alliance between species. And your skin is just the surface layer of that alliance. So when you say, "This is me," that statement is incomplete. Because you includes things you've never seen, never felt, and never controlled. And suddenly, the question isn't, what's living on my skin? It becomes, where do I end and they begin? And that line might not exist at all. So if your skin is already not fully yours, then let's go deeper, because the surface is just the beginning. What's happening on your skin is a small version of something much bigger happening inside you. Because those same kinds of organisms don't just live on your body, they live in it, in your gut, in your mouth, in places you never think about, and together, they form something scientists call the microbiome. The word is too small for what this actually is. This is not a collection, it's a network, a living, communicating, adaptive system inside your body that you didn't design. And here's where things start to feel uncomfortable. Because this system doesn't just exist quietly, it sends signals constantly to your immune system, to your hormones, to your brain. Yes, your brain. The place you think is completely you. The place where your thoughts happen, your decisions, your personality. But what if some of those signals aren't coming from you at all? There's a direct communication line between your gut and your brain. Scientists call it the gut-brain axis. But again, that name doesn't capture the reality, because this is not a one-way street. It's a conversation. Your brain sends signals down, but your microbes send signals up. They produce chemicals, neurotransmitter-like substances, compounds that can influence mood, stress, even behavior. And suddenly, the idea that you are in control starts to crack. Because if something else inside you can influence how you feel, how you react, what you crave, then what part of that is truly yours? Think about cravings. Ever suddenly want sugar or junk food or something very specific for no clear reason? You assume it's your preference, your choice. But what if it's not? What if it's a signal originating from organisms that benefit from that food? Because certain microbes thrive on certain nutrients, and when they want more, they don't speak, they signal through your body, through your brain, through what feels like desire, and you obey without ever questioning it. Not because you're weak, but because you're part of a system you don't fully perceive. Now zoom out, farther, bigger, because this isn't just about skin anymore, or gut, or bacteria. This is about identity. You've spent your entire life believing one core idea: I am me, a single entity, a single mind, a single decision maker. But biologically, that's not accurate. You are a layered system. Cells, signals, microorganisms, feedback loops, all interacting, all influencing, all shaping the outcome that you call self. And here's the most unsettling part. You don't experience any of this. You don't feel the negotiations. You don't hear the signals. You only experience the final result, a thought, a feeling, a decision, and you assume it came from you. But it might be the product of countless invisible interactions happening beneath awareness. So when you say, I chose this, that statement might be simplified, not wrong, but incomplete. Because choice may be a collaboration between you and everything living within you, and everything living on you. And suddenly, we're back to your skin, that place you thought was just a surface, just a boundary, just something you wash and forget. But now, you see it differently, not as a wall, but as an interface, a meeting point between worlds, and everything that makes you possible. Because without those microbes, your system destabilizes. Without balance, you don't function the same. Without that invisible layer of life, you are not the version of you recognize. So the next time you look at your skin, or touch your face, or wash your hands, pause, not in fear, not in disgust, but in awareness. Because you are not cleaning dirt. You are interacting with an ecosystem, a living layer that has been with you since your first breath and will remain until your last. You are not a body moving through the world. You are a world moving through itself. And you is not a single voice. It's a chorus, and you've been listening to only one of them.